From an operational perspective, moments like this often matter more than official statements. At first glance, the scene feels routine. A gray hull gliding into port, sailors standing by, cameras capturing the moment, nothing out of the ordinary. But what the Philippine Navy has just received is not simply another ship joining the fleet. It is a message. With the arrival of the future BRP Raja Sulayman, the Philippines is quietly confronting a question every maritime nation eventually must answer. What does real sovereignty at sea actually mean? Is it defined by lines on maps and clauses in treaties? Or is it defined by presence, by ships, crews, and the ability to remain on station day after day? This week, Manila signaled that its answer is no longer theoretical. In today's maritime environment, pressure rarely comes with gunfire. It appears in quieter forms: foreign patrols that linger just inside contested waters, fishing fleets that steadily push boundaries, and Coast Guard vessels that probe responses without crossing the threshold of open conflict. This is what strategists refer to as the gray zone, actions designed to change facts on the water while avoiding a military response. For the Philippines, this challenge is not occasional. It is constant. An archipelago of more than 7,600 islands, an expansive exclusive economic zone, and a limited number of patrol vessels stretch naval and Coast Guard resources thin. Coastal communities and fishermen experience these pressures first, often facing intimidation, restricted access to traditional fishing grounds, or damaged livelihoods long before the issue reaches national headlines. Reports frequently outpace response. Coast Guard and Naval command centers receive more incident calls than available ships can immediately cover, creating gaps that gray zone actors are quick to exploit. For years, the Philippine Navy operated under a persistent imbalance: enormous maritime responsibility matched with insufficient endurance and presence at sea. BRP Raja Sulayman is designed to change that equation, not through escalation, but by reducing gaps, extending patrol coverage, and allowing the Navy to remain where presence itself becomes deterrence. Public attention has focused largely on headlines: who this ship is meant to deter and where it might deploy. That framing misses the more important shift. BRP Raja Sulayman is not built for confrontation. It is built for endurance. As the first of 6 modern offshore patrol vessels under the Navy's modernization program, it delivers a capability the fleet has long lacked: sustained presence. Instead of reacting after incidents surface or deploying briefly before withdrawing, the Navy gains a platform designed to remain forward for extended periods. That ability to stay, monitoring activity, documenting behavior, and responding immediately changes how maritime pressure is managed. In security environments where escalation is avoided but influence is contested, endurance and persistence often matter more than speed or firepower. In practical terms, this allows presence itself to function as deterrence, quietly shaping behavior without the need for confrontation. Step back, and a consistent regional pattern becomes clear. Across the Indo-Pacific, maritime states are investing less in symbolic presence and more in ships that can operate continuously. Vietnam has steadily expanded its patrol fleet to reinforce day-to-day control of contested waters. Indonesia fields large offshore patrol vessels to manage one of the world's largest archipelagos, where distance and endurance matter more than raw firepower. Japan has transformed its Coast Guard into a strategic instrument, deploying heavily equipped cutters as tools of maritime statecraft rather than simple law enforcement platforms. Even smaller navies are following the same logic, prioritizing vessels that can remain at sea longer, maintain situational awareness, and respond quickly without constant support. Until recently, the Philippines stood apart from this trend, constrained by limited endurance and aging platforms. The introduction of Raja Sulayman signals a shift toward the same operational model. Maritime power is not established through announcements or statements. It is built incrementally, ship by ship, patrol by patrol, through the ability to show up and remain present where it matters most. The ship's arrival itself told a story. On January 17, 2026, as the future BRP Raja Sulayman entered Philippine waters, it was met by a deliberate escort, BRP Jose Rizal, the Navy's first missile-capable frigate. That pairing was not accidental. The Navy's most advanced surface combatant, welcoming its newest patrol workhorse, sent a quiet but clear message. Deterrence and day-to-day maritime control now operate together. Naval planners note that multi-ship coordination drills have increased significantly compared to pre-modernization levels. Escorts like this are not about ceremony alone. They test command and control, seamanship, and integration across different classes of ships. In simple terms, they show whether a fleet can function as a system. After the handover, Raja Sulayman went straight to Naval Station Jose Andrade. Post-delivery inspections and system checks began immediately. This phase rarely makes headlines, but it's critical. Modern OPVs integrate advanced navigation, sensors, and communications systems that must be calibrated to local operating conditions. Navy officials say starting this process early can cut initial deployment delays by as much as 25%. More importantly, it reflects a shift in mindset. This wasn't about showing off a new ship. It was about getting it ready to work. As one fleet commander noted, the real significance wasn't the vessel itself, but the ability of the Navy to escort, integrate, and operate as one connected force. In contested waters, professionalism speaks loudly. Classified as an offshore patrol vessel under the Raja Sulayman class, the ship is based on the proven HDP-2400 design. Built by Hyundai Heavy Industries in South Korea, it represents a generational leap in reliability and endurance. In practical terms, this means weeks at sea instead of days. Thousands of nautical miles without constant port support. With a displacement of roughly 2,400 to 2,450 tons and a length of about 94 meters, the vessel hits a balance point, large enough for endurance, agile enough for rapid response across the archipelago. A top speed of around 22 knots and an economical cruising speed allow it to chase, shadow, or maintain patrols without burning through fuel too quickly. But where Raja Sulayman truly stands out is persistence. Up to 30 days at sea and a range of roughly 5,500 nautical miles. That is presence by design. The ship's onboard systems are designed to support that mission profile. Its main gun and remotely operated weapons provide credible defensive and deterrent capability without pushing the vessel into high-end combat roles. This allows the ship to respond proportionally in contested or ambiguous situations, where restraint is often as important as strength. Advanced radar, navigation, and combat management systems give commanders continuous situational awareness, tracking surface traffic, identifying patterns of behavior, and distinguishing routine activity from potential threats. This information advantage is central to modern maritime security, where decisions are shaped by observation as much as action. With fast interceptor boats and a modular mission space, the vessel can shift roles quickly. It can support boarding operations, conduct search and rescue, carry out inspections, or deploy mission-specific teams as conditions change. Rather than being optimized for a single task, the platform is built to adapt to the varied and unpredictable demands of contemporary maritime operations. It's built for the reality of modern maritime security. For coastal communities and fishermen, this capability is not abstract. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing costs the Philippines billions each year. It undermines livelihoods long before it shows up in national statistics. With modern sensors, rapid interception capability, and coordination with the Coast Guard, Raja Sulayman turns enforcement into something that is felt, not just promised. Beyond enforcement, the ship helps secure commercial sea lanes and energy routes that underpin the national economy. This is where law enforcement and defense overlap, and where OPVs are most effective. The arrival of BRP Raja Sulayman is inseparable from a larger shift inside the Philippine Navy. Acquired under the Armed Forces of the Philippines Modernization Program, Horizon 2, the OPV program marks a clean break from decades of reliance on aging, inherited platforms, some dating back to World War II. For the first time in generations, the Navy is rebuilding its patrol force around modern, long-range ships, designed not just to sail, but to remain on station. Expanding the offshore patrol fleet from 11 to 17 vessels reflects a hard-earned lesson. Sovereignty cannot be enforced by ships that cannot reach contested areas, stay there, or operate safely in demanding conditions. Equally important is what this program says about partnerships. Defense cooperation with South Korea combines shipbuilding expertise, technology transfer, and training, strengthening local capacity alongside fleet growth. The six-ship OPV class, Raja Sulayman, Raja Lakandula, Raja Humabon, Sultan Kudarat, Datu Marikudo, and Datu Sikatuna, deliberately anchors modern naval power in pre-colonial history and sovereignty. Regionally, enhanced patrol capability deters illegal incursions while reassuring partners that the Philippines can contribute meaningfully to shared maritime security. This is deterrence without provocation. BRP Raja Sulayman isn't the largest or most heavily armed vessel in the Philippine Navy, and that's deliberate. Its significance lies not in firepower, but in capability and mindset. It embodies a new approach to naval operations: persistence, professionalism, and credible presence. As the lead ship of its class, Raja Sulayman will set the standard for doctrine, training, and patrol patterns for years to come. Its missions go beyond combat. They are about establishing continuous maritime presence, ensuring law enforcement, safeguarding trade routes, and projecting stability in Philippine waters. With additional offshore patrol vessels arriving through 2028, the Navy won't just grow numerically. It will become more resilient, more visible, and more capable of responding to diverse challenges, from humanitarian assistance and disaster relief to anti-piracy and territorial defense. In maritime security, showing up matters, but sustaining that presence day after day is what truly shifts the balance, deters aggression, and safeguards a nation's sovereignty. I'll continue tracking how the Philippine Navy's modernization unfolds and what it means on the water, not just on paper. If you have insight or experience related to maritime operations, feel free to share your perspective in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next discussion.